Hello everybody, Kiwi Christian here, all the way in lovely New Zealand, although it's a bit cold today. Anyway, I haven't been on for a while, so forgive me. Thought I would answer some questions regarding Jehovah's false witnesses and Mormons. I love questions. They can be very edifying. When we have to research why we believe, we meaning Christians, why we believe what we believe. So first question, will a JW get disfellowshipped if they married a non-JW? As I have always said, my friends, do not expect an honest answer from a JW. The Watchtower tells them that they are allowed to lie if they don't feel that you deserve to know the truth. So always check out what they say. What was the question again? Will he get disfellowshipped? Tricky question. The organisation will try their absolute best to break up the marriage. They class anyone who disagrees with the Watchtower an apostate or an opposer, or an opposer. So they don't want the JW to be... What are you doing, Tiger? You're sneezing. Poor Bubba. They don't want any non-Watchtower thoughts going into the JW's head, so they will try to separate a unequally yoked, if you would, marriage. Search on YouTube for my video, How to Protect Your Family After Leaving the Jehovah's Witnesses, Keith and Laurie McGregor. Very interesting example of exactly that. Although it wasn't, she wasn't a JW when she married this other person. She became a JW whilst, and how he handled that when the Watchtower tried to split the marriage up is actually pretty good. So yeah, check out on that one. It's very good. So I don't know if they will disfellowship you if you refuse to obey the Watchtower. Yes, they will kick you out. And if they tell you to break up with him because he's not in the truth, or she's not in the truth, then yeah, you could get into some trouble there. Okay, next, there we go. So here's what they say apostasy is. Persons who deliberately spread teachings contrary to Bible truth as taught by Jehovah's Witnesses are apostates. So a person who does not believe in the Watchtower is an apostate. Apostasy is abandoning or deserting the worship and service of God as the JWs teach. Actually rebellion against Jehovah God. So there we go. Attending weddings and funerals of non-Jehovah's Witnesses friends and family allowed but strongly discouraged. And in the bottom Watchtower issue, we see that you're not really allowed to have association with non-JW families and friends. So that's what will happen if you marry a JW. Next one. Why do most Jehovah's Witnesses on quora disable the comments? If they have the truth, what are they afraid of? Very good question. Again, the Watchtower controls their thinking and their every move. Again, they don't want any non-Jehovah's Witness or non-Watchtower information or thoughts or seeds of doubts to creep in. So they would prefer you to have blinders, on. They do not even encourage, they strongly discourage you and tell you that they do not endorse anything, any literature that doesn't, or websites that does not come from the Watchtower. Again, they want to keep them ignorant. But the question is very valid. Jehovah's Witnesses usually, based on my experience, hate dialogue. They prefer monologue. They prefer to come on, say something, not allow you to respond, and run away. There's only so much programming and brainwashing the organisation can do, and they can't cover every question that can be put forth to a JW. So, I don't know. I honestly think it's the Watchtower just does not want them to engage in a conversation with someone who is an opposer. Okay. Next question. What are some examples of serious sin in the Jehovah's Witness organization? If you look at the hidden camera or hidden recordings of apostasy trials or courts, you can check them out on my JW playlist. It seems the most common one is disagreeing with the Watchtower, disagreeing with the organisation. That'll get you kicked out. Now when I say kicked out, that means completely cut off. No contact at all with family or friends. What are you doing, madam? Having a blood transfusion to save a person's life, that'll get you kicked out. It's a very high control organisation, but the most serious sin in the Jehovah's Witness organisation is pretty much disagreeing with what the Watchtower says. Oh, Debbie Harrington, very good. Yes, the worst sin they commit is the sin of pride, excessive preoccupation with self. I don't think that was a question. Anyway. So, I think that would be the most serious sin in a Jehovah's Witness can do. Disagree with the organisation. How did Joseph Smith use a hat to obtain revelations? Now, good old Joe, the founder of Mormonism, yes, Mormonism, get over it, guys. It's not Latter-day Saints, it's Mormons. He was well known, him and his family were well known in the area for being dirty, low-down con men, with no morals, just really a bunch of good-for-nothings. And if you see paintings in Mormon churches, you'll see pictures of Joseph Smith looking and pondering these plates and what have you, translating them. That's not how he did it. Okay, so he used a seer stone and placed it in a hat. The words then appeared to him, and he would read them off to someone who was not in the same room, who would write it down. The Mormon Church have admitted he used a seer stone. They even showed you a photo of it. Now, he did have more than one seer stone. Think of it like a crystal ball type thing. That was another one. He was actually... Oh no, this was a different question, I think. Yeah. So, now don't let the Mormons lie to you. Here we go. I will now give you a description of the manner in which the Book of Mormon was translated. Joseph Smith would put the seer stone into a hat and put his face in the hat, drawing it closely around his face to exclude the light, and in the darkness the spiritual light would shine. A piece of something resembling parchment would appear, and on that appeared the writing. One character at a time would appear, and under it was the interpretation in English. Brother Joseph, okay, so, yeah, Brother Joseph, so they were still mates, would read when it was written down, and, oh no, sorry, Brother Joseph would read off the English to Oliver Cowdery, who was his principal scribe, and when it was written down and repeated to Brother Joseph to see if it was correct, then it would disappear and another character with the interpretation would appear. Thus the Book of Mormon was translated by the gift and power of God, and not by any power of man. So remember that the Book of Mormon has undergone at least 3,000 different changes. Not all spelling mistakes or capitalization, but names, places, events, all changed. And the way the Mormon gets out of that, say, oh, they were copyist errors, the scribe got it wrong. Well, hang on, not according to that testimony, and we know that the Mormons love their testimony. No, it was letter, word for word, letter by letter. The second letter would not appear until the first one was read back and verified. So don't let the Mormons lie to you. Okay. Next question. Where are we? Oh, you don't want to see that. There we go. Now, was the Mormon LDS prophet Joseph, well, he wasn't a prophet, Joseph Smith involved in treasure digging? Yes. Okay, can I say it any more politely? No. He was even arrested for it. They say, oh, he was arrested but not convicted. That's strange, because we've uncovered the actual court records. They're everywhere on the internet now. So he was arrested, charged, and convicted of money digging, i.e. using a stone in a hat to find buried treasure. He was obsessed with finding buried treasure, you know, sort of like dividing rods and stuff like that. He was a real occultist, real huckster. So yes, he was. The Mormons might say, well, everyone was. Yeah, sure, maybe everyone was at the time, but none of them who profess to be Christian would use occultic means, like a seer stone. Right, next one. Oh, hang on, I think I've missed one. Where am I? I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, so yes, he was involved. Oh, yep, sorry. There's the arrest. There's another one. Now, there was another question about Freemasonry, but I can't find it. Anyway. Okay, was Joseph Smith involved in Freemasonry? Yes. These are the secret magic Mormon undies, and if you notice, they have 3 Masonic embroideries on it, if there's such a word as embroideries. Okay, temple ceremony, same as Masonry. Remember, Joe came out with the temple ceremony very soon after he became a Mason. Okay, look at all the symbols on the Nauvoo temple. Again, more. Okay, even Joe said he was. I officiated as Grand Chaplain at the installation of the Nauvoo Lodge of Freemasons. You know, blah, blah, blah. You can read the rest of that. In fact, in the early days of Mormonism, the Masons referred to the Mormon Church as just a clandestine lodge. So I think it started off as a Freemasonry lodge. Maybe they didn't like what Joe was teaching, so they said stop it, so he changed it into a church. Just a thought. Anyway, I hope these have been helpful. Comment, like, subscribe. I don't get any money from this, but it just shows me that I'm not wasting my time. Remember that we need to pray for our Mormon and Jehovah's False Witness friends, for they are just as much in need of the gospel